I think many people have this feeling that whatever they started, they have to finish. And if they don't, they feel a lot of guilt and shame, and they feel like they failed almost forever if they didn't achieve that. So they keep knocking on this one door they chose once in the past because they put so much effort in reaching that door and they can't go back. And I think it's completely okay to actually sometimes give up and take a step back, even if you put so much time and effort. And that's what happened with my filmmaking career. In 2022, I moved from Russia to Israel and went to the university on my master's degree in documentary filmmaking. And I had so many plans on my filmmaking career, how I'm gonna make my first feature film, send it to festivals, meet a lot of filmmakers around the world, and really establish my career officially as a filmmaker, as a director. And of course, everyone in my family, all my friends knew about that. And I had this project, this biggest project of my life probably, about my mother. I was making a feature documentary about our separation, because when I moved from Russia to Israel, I moved alone, and then came my father and his new wife and their kids, my brother and sister. But my mom, who was always the main person in my life, she had to stay in Moscow. She couldn't move with us. She's in her 50s. She's divorced with my dad. She's feeling super lonely. She doesn't have anyone else. She's aging, and the only most important person in her life, who is me, her daughter, moved away. And I think that process of separation was so interesting for me to capture. And I think so many people could relate to that I thought this is the most important thing I have to do. And I didn't have any doubt that I won't finish that project. The whole first year when I moved to Israel, she was visiting me sometimes for 3 months or something like that. And every time she visited me, I filmed her every day, everything we did, with my observational style. When she was back in Moscow, we were talking on FaceTime. I was recording our phone calls. I researched our old VHS cassettes and found some videos from her youth and videos where I am little and she's filming me. So I put so much effort into that project that it was impossible for me to even think that at some point I will stop. I was just going and going and going and filming. And when I finished my offline studies in Israel, I came back to Russia for several months to film the second part of this documentary, where my mom is in Russia. And I already had the whole structure in my head, all the episodes. I had all material. I finished filming. I have everything. Now I need just to sit, edit it, send it to festivals, and boom, I have my filmmaking career launched. And that was the plan. But then everything changed. When I came back from Russia and I wanted to start editing my film, I got this crazy idea to move to Canada. And also I started a very difficult relationship that was taking all my energy, and I completely forgot about everything I was doing in my life and all my plans, and especially creative plans, because when you are in a difficult relationship, it takes just everything from you, and you're kind of shrinking and forget about yourself and your desires, your plans and everything. But still, I moved to Canada, and I thought that there I will have time, but of course I didn't have, maybe I had time, but I didn't have any energy to dedicate myself to that project, and months went by, and it's a year since I moved to Canada. I already went back to Israel, and I still didn't start editing that project. And honestly, of course, I feel kind of guilty about that. And not only because of my own dreams to establish my international filmmaking career, but also because of my mom, because she thought that that's my future, and she of course waited for me to make a film about her, and that was such an exciting thing for her for so many months. And actually I was working on that project for almost 2 years, but it never happened. And the main reason was because all my life I had 50% of me in filmmaking and 50% as a musician. And this year I actually decided that I'm gonna take music seriously. And apparently I can't do both things at the same time. If I'm a filmmaker, I can't write good music. If I'm a musician, I can't make good films. And therefore this project was abandoned completely, and I still don't know when I will do it. Of course I really want to do it one day, but right now I feel like I'm fully into the musicianship and everything connected to writing songs and exploring new instruments, learning piano and guitar, improving myself in that. And I kind of feel this guilt, but I think it's totally fine, because your intuition should tell you what to do, first of all, not someone else's expectations, and not even your own expectations, because you change so much throughout time, and the person who expected stuff when you started something was a different person. And of course, if I was talking to myself 2 years ago when I started making that documentary, that Ava would say, are you kidding me, bro? You didn't finish that film that you were working on for 2 years? But the new Ava, who is me, I so much don't care about that film now. Right now, I mean, in the present. In general, I do care very much about it. But in the present, I'm so focused on other stuff. And my life took a completely different direction than I thought. And I didn't establish my filmmaking career, which is kind of a shame, but I'm really happy that I had a courage to not finish something that I was working on for so long because of my intuition, because I decided that it's not the time now. So I think that it's okay to give up sometimes and take a step back, to be able to take another step forward.